In the morning when I rise, give me Jesus.
Good morning. God is brilliant. He loves you so much. And sin was a problem. It was between you and him. You couldn't receive his love because your sin was in the way. So he sent Jesus to pay for all the sin. Oh my goodness, what a demonstration of the love of God that his own son would come and hang on a cross to pay for all your sin. So he loves you. Do you believe it? Because if you believe it, it says in 1 John 4:16, we have come to know and have believed the love that God has for us because God is love. So if you believe that God is love, give him opportunity so that you will experience his love. Once you've experienced his love, it fills you up so that you can't help but love others. And here's the deal. When you love others, you have fulfilled the whole law. See, that's the brilliance of God, and that's the gospel. So quit trying hard to be good enough to please God, and instead open your heart to receive God's love so that as his love fills you, you'll love others and your behavior won't be a problem. Well, we confirm that today. Today we're in Galatians chapter 5 still, and it's verses 16 through 18. And verse 16 says this, I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not carry out the desires of the flesh. Okay, let me teach for just a minute here. You are spirit. And if you are born again, then your spirit has come alive and you are united to God himself by his Holy Spirit. So you are spirit. That's the real you. You have a soul, and that's what manifests in this world. And you live in flesh. You live in a body. And so here's the question. Is your soul, your mind, your will, and your emotions, the way you think, the things that motivate you, the things that drive you, your will, and your emotions, are they driven by your spirit, who is the real you, or by your flesh, which is the way you've always done things before you were saved, which is the way the world does things, which is the way you are being pressed into by the things of the world? Are you being motivated by the things on the outside as well as the way you used to think? Or are you being motivated by your spirit, the real you that's united to God? It says here, if you walk by the Spirit, if you're motivated by the things of God that are on the inside of you, united to the real Spirit, the real you, then you will not carry out the desires of the flesh. You will resist the things of the world, the enemy's attempts to drag you into his darkness. Look at 17. For the flesh sets the desire against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. For these are in opposition to one another, so that you may not do the things that you please. All right, let's talk about that for a minute. The Spirit and the flesh are diabolically opposed to each other. But the Spirit will overcome the flesh if you'll let it. If you'll let God on the inside lead you and guide you, then you will put down the things of the world and the things of the enemy. How do you overcome the lies of the enemy? With the truth of God. And so, walk by the Spirit, and you will not fulfill the deeds of the flesh, so that you may not do the things that you please. Once you're really saved, your spirit man comes alive, and the things you want are the things that line up with God. The things you want are the things that give life, the abundance, richness of life that comes from walking with God. Verse 18, but if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the law. Because if you walk in the Spirit, united to God, then he's going to lead you away from the junk and into the things that agree with his will. And so you don't even need the law if you're letting the Lord lead you. See, that's really my whole conversation. I hope you've heard me say this in so many different ways. Quit looking at your flesh. Quit trying to live up to the law. Instead, look at Jesus, and he will lead you away from the nonsense into rich, abundant life. Okay, that's the gospel. Today, go back and look at Galatians 5, verses 16 through 18. Behold the richness of the gospel, that as we walk with God, our spirit man alive, then we don't have to worry about the nonsense of the flesh. Oh, God bless you as you walk in the Spirit, united to God today.
Give me Jesus. Give me Jesus. You can have all this world, but give me Jesus.